WrestleMania season is upon us, and the WWE superstars have a responsibility to step up their game. Not only is a spot on the WrestleMania card up for grabs, but what happens going forward with their respective careers may very well be decided on the road to WrestleMania. This is because every year WWE decides to cut their ties with the Expendables, those who can be either replaced or aren't in the creative team's plans. Moreover, with the WWE now scouting and bringing some of the best talents available on the entire planet, there is little room for superstars that have either been coasting or aren't featured prominently on WWE programming. Like every year, we can expect the company to release a few superstars. WWE has never been shy about cutting dead weight. Even superstars such as Drew McIntyre have been shown the door, when the company felt like they were no longer of much value. Keeping that in mind, we take a look at 10 superstars that may just be released in 2018. As an honorable mention, we have Daniel Bryan. The fact that Daniel Bryan wants to get back inside the squared circle wouldn't shock anyone. The former WWE World Heavyweight Champion has been lobbying for the promotion to let him wrestle once again, but WWE has stood firm on its stance. Bryan initially contemplated retiring from WWE, but was told he would still be contractually bound to WWE if he ever decided to wrestle again. This forced Bryan to take an on-screen role on SmackDown Live, but his WWE contract will be up in 2018. In the past, Bryan has teased showdowns with the likes of Cody Rhodes and has openly expressed his desire to work for ROH once again. It remains to be seen if Bryan decides to stick with WWE, but as things stand, WWE will have to let him go. Let's just be honest, does anyone even remember the last time when R-Truth challenged for the WWE title? Or that instance when he was the quote-unquote coolest bad guy in WWE? Or even how his rivalry with Goldust ended? Unless you have an excellent memory or are very much invested in WWE's product, the answer would be no. There is no denying the fact that R-Truth has a lot of potential. He's a former NWA and TNA World Heavyweight Champion, a United States Champion, and also a former Tag Team Champion with Kofi Kingston. However, the writing has been all on the wall for some time now, and it is only a matter of time before WWE releases the former US champ. We also need to consider the fact that R-Truth was recently injured and underwent shoulder surgery in October. While WWE doesn't release superstars while they're sidelined to avoid negative PR, expect him to be given his marching orders in 2018. 2017 wasn't exactly the 12 months Curt Hawkins would have wanted in the global juggernaut. The year ended with Hawkins creating a new record, not the kind you'd want to brag about, but the kind you'd hope was a nightmare. Hawkins had 0 wins and 150 losses in the company by the time 2017 came to a close, and to commemorate the feat, WWE released a t-shirt marking all his losses quite literally. There will come a point when Hawkins would win a match, thereby ending his less than stellar achievement in the company. While Curt is currently lingering in the bowels of the mid-card, the losing streak is arguably all he has going for him in the company. Once that's over, you can really only imagine that he's going to be shown the door. That isn't to say that Curt Hawkins isn't a great talent or an amazing performer, but there's just not much you can do with a superstar that hasn't won a match in over a year. No offense to the Colognes, but does anyone even remember which brand they're supposed to be on? That is just a shame if you take into account the fact that they were the tag team champions back in 2012. Their momentum really is halted repeatedly as they underwent a gimmick change, and not even someone dressed in a bull costume could resurrect their careers. Back in April, the Colognes defeated American Alpha, but with Primo suffering a knee injury, Epico had to keep off television. While the duo did return as Lumberjacks in November, they haven't been on WWE TV, which is a pretty good indicator of what the creative team thinks of the duo. The Colognes, one assumes, will do very well on the independents, but as far as their WWE careers go, unless they believe in miracles, they can expect a release this year. Apollo Crews is one of those names you would have expected to do well in WWE. Formerly known as Yuhan Nation, he was signed by the company to much fanfare and was sent to NXT. While Crews never won the NXT title, he was built as a legitimate superstar, and given his size and agility, he was expected to reach his ceiling on the main roster, and that ceiling really should have been high. However, things haven't gone as planned, and Crews now finds himself in a meandering loop of mediocrity. As a member of Titus Worldwide, Crews hasn't exactly flourished, and was easily defeated by Bray Wyatt this past week on Raw. When the company doesn't have plans for someone, the norm has been to throw them in a stable along with other superstars that don't have much to do either. While some thrive as an odd man stablemate, the others see it as a final nail in their coffin before being moved to the unemployment line. Crews can expect pretty much the same thing, which is a shame, given his talents and abilities in the ring. 2018 may very well be Apollo's last year in the WWE. During their time in NXT, the Ascension were a team to be reckoned with. They were dominant, laid waste to their opponents, and even won the NXT Tag Team titles. But once they were brought to the main roster, the creative team quickly lost interest, and the duo has since largely been fodder for the other talents. For the past few months, the Ascension have been playing the third wheel in the Breezango Bludgeon Brothers feud. They've really just seemed irrelevant and have inconspicuously been off TV as well. It is only a matter of time before Connor and Victor get released from the promotion, and that may very well happen in the first half of 2018. Yet another casualty in WWE's start push is Dana Brooke. While Dana wasn't the greatest talent during her NXT days, WWE unwisely decided to bring her to the main roster, where she was paired with Emma briefly. Once Emma got injured, Dana served as the understudy for Charlotte Flair, which is about the most relevant thing she has done on the show. Brooke recently lost to Asuka in just 3 seconds, setting an undesired record for the fastest submission loss in a women's match in WWE. While she has just joined Titus Worldwide, WWE's decision to kill her push for being quote-unquote too green has certainly impacted her career negatively. There were reports last year that WWE wanted to send Dana back to NXT to improve her ring skills, but with the likes of Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, and Kairi Sane dominating the women's division, the best thing for Dana's career would be to go to the independents and work on her in-ring skills, which can happen this year if WWE decides to let her go post-WrestleMania. When Maria and Mike Kanellis made their debut last year at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, many thought Mike would get an immediate push on SmackDown Live. Mike has the looks, the skills, and with Maria in his corner, the duo looked to be a hit on the Blue brand, especially with that theme song. However, the WWE management made a quick U-turn, throwing Mike's WWE career really in limbo. Just months after making his debut, Mike Kanellis had to take time off TV to deal with his drug addiction. While Maria announced that she was pregnant, Maria is still expected to be out for the year, while Mike's career might be already over. With Maria by his side, the creative team might not include Mike in their plans, and the former Impact X Division champion might have to return to the Indies as early as this year. It isn't exactly a secret that Ziggler isn't happy in his current spot on the roster. The former World Heavyweight Champion is considered to be one of the best workers in the company, but his stock kept falling once he dropped the world title a few years ago. There have been reports that Vince McMahon wasn't thrilled with Ziggler's work, and Dolph's contract is reportedly set to expire soon. While him dropping the US title could be a work, it could also be WWE's way of writing him off TV, thereby releasing him from the company. The angle could go either way. Dolph can renegotiate terms and reach a middle ground with the company, and it's also possible that the show-off who hasn't been happy with the direction of his character may decide to pursue other avenues and get his release from the promotion this year. The former Cruiserweight champion and king of the Cruiserweights set the rumor mill on fire when he walked out of the company a couple months ago. The Cruiserweight division just wasn't going anywhere, and with Austin Aries getting his release, Neville ended up packing his bags and leaving the building and hasn't been on TV since October. Since then, there have been reports of peaceful discussions between Neville and the organization, and while the former champion can return to WWE, it is just as plausible that he may want to test the free agent waters. The likes of Cody Rhodes have done phenomenally well outside WWE, which could motivate Neville to go back to the Indies where he originally made a name for himself. Remember the moment when Hulk Hogan announced the signing of Hideo Itami in Japan? Hideo was supposed to be the key to unlocking the Japanese market for the promotion. However, through no fault of his own, Hideo has been plagued by injuries during his run with the company, from a serious shoulder injury that kept him out of the ring for over a year to a neck injury that once sidelined him for 6 months. Itami's NXT run was uneventful to say the least. While he has since made his main roster debut and 205 Live debut, his entire WWE run has just been underwhelming. Itami was a major star before coming to WWE, and has been unable to live up to the billing. There will come a time when both the promotion and the superstar himself will be frustrated. With Nakamura, Asuka, and Kairi Sane signing with the WWE after Hideo's arrival, WWE won't think twice about letting go the former GHC Heavyweight Champion this year. If that doesn't happen, it could turn out to be for the best for both parties involved. And these were 10 wrestlers that might be fired in 2018. I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will see you later with more wrestling videos.